be leery of a situation where if you're in a home that has a wood window, in this case, it was a single pane double hung window. If the sill of this window, in certain situations, if the sill rots out over time, a remedy for repair is not so much repairing or replacing that sill, it's just to cover it up. And a lot of times you'll have, if you get somebody who's good with metal, they'll cut a nice piece, they'll tuck it right inside that sill. And you know what? If you paint that sill white, it looks great, it looks fine. So be leery if you have an older home with older windows. And this is, in my mind, this is a common window and setup that I used to deal with, 40 years ago, a house built in the early 80s here. But if you come around in a house at this stage of the game and, you find a metal, just a metal cover to this wood sill, be leery of the condition of the wood sill below that. Obviously, it might be secured real well, but you can press a little bit on that metal, and if you find some movement to it, or it feels like that it moves, or there's nothing solid beneath that, question that situation. You might indicate many of the windows, or perhaps you might be specific to a given window in a given room, but just indicate, let's say if that was the case here in this room, you can indicate, front window, garage side, metal covering to sill, somewhat soft, upon pressing, unable to determine condition of sill. And at that point, unable to determine if sill rotted beneath metal cover or metal covering. And then, you can make a recommendation, suggest further review by qualified contractor, make appropriate repairs where applicable, or make applicable repairs, something like that.